Jen, wait. Okay, good.
Luckily, have a few grandparents here, and the first one to speak is Heather's grandma, Berta Bender. Woo!
Yeah, it's amazing how well this stuff works. So if you leave it like for ages, come back.
Always had you dressed up like such a little lady. You were such a quiet, happy little girl. But as you grew older, please forgive me for that granddaughter of mine. God bless you both this day and in your walk of life together.
Well, because he lived so far away, we did go to visit in South Africa. That's where we first met him. And then Laurie used to bring him over for a visit. And one time we were visiting in Rosstown, and he was sitting at the kitchen table and he said, "Grandma, I think I'm in love."
Both boys living in Canada. And there they are, 2 seats away from one another. Kirsty and Papa are the younger bro.
She had stars for nipples, and she was bordered with a beautiful blue gloss. Very sophisticated Asian. This memory sticks in my mind very much because I consider it an example of infallible logic, basically with a story lived and a story shared. As we all know, Adrian has the fondness of magic. He writes about healing guitars and works of art that have a life force. But I think you'll find little disappointment in the fact that these are non-existent. Because
Heather was the nicest sister any brother could ever want. She taught us so much, nothing we can remember just now, but we know she taught us something.
She has never done anything silly to embarrass us. For example, she would never throw a huge high school party while Mom and Dad were away and Chris was working. Speech, so I suspect none of you have had a drink since then.
In a crazy tropical illness. Heather lost. To the many nights spent talking about boys and planning out our lives in our favorite fancy wine bar back home. And by fancy wine bar, I mean Paul and Glenna's wine cellar in their basement. For those that don't know Heather very well, not only this is a story of to take a minute and became the wife of a man called Adrian. After the road was about 7 already, and he yelled at Heather's dad, "Hey, Paul, please come me." I was at the ring, I think I'm making some rum, and I figured this song. Now it's all so fun.
I'd first like to say, I'm going to turn this up, it's a bit for short people. And here we are today. Who would have thought the way to a man's heart is through his new underpants? At my wedding about over a year ago, Adrian mentioned my lack of hair, which as you can see is no big secret. But the funny thing is, for Adrian, who prides himself happy to help us out, now all you have to do is picture Adrian in a boot tube and a little mini red skirt, strutting his stuff around the store, trying to pick up girls. The funny thing is, he did get a number. I just can't remember if it was a girl or a guy. As you all know, Adrian is a talented film director who has just made his first local. The best things you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly who you are. Good mood, bad mood, ugly, pretty, handsome, what have you. The right person is still going to think the sun shines out of your ass. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking around with. Adrian has found found this person in Heather, and I could not be happier for her.
That's right. I could have spent $2,000 on one. Anything else?
Would it make it so can you make spell letters? Would it make it great? Yeah, would be great.
Jess up on stage, she did very well. So the dessert came out, and then you had chicken and beef, and Zoga went to the waitress. No more with the fish. Need some editing. Yeah. No, it's live. That's the beauty of live. That's the beauty of live. It's live. Everything you say is right there. Like, Luke, you're a piece of shit. Everybody just heard that. It's that's probably what we started. We've been way past that.
An emotional week, and from what we understand,
Paul's not a short man, and keeping it from getting creased off the floor, making sure it was pristine for the wedding. He tested his stamina and his patience. So you've all heard of tennis elbow. Well, Paul is suffering from a little-known case of wedding gown, arm, and shoulder.
You make Heather feel thankful. Heather, we are certain your life will never be boring. You keep, or try to keep, Adrian as organized as possible. Ground up. If you would like to read the letter sometime, ask me. I have it here, and it says, It seems like someone is making a movie, but they had a low budget. The rest is history. So we can all thank Holly, Megan, and Luke. Dad and I may not have done everything, but we did do something right when it came to our children. And we are so blessed, and we're so proud of you all. A great couple you make. Now comes the time to soon start cutting the cake.
Megan and Luke did set up the meeting. I think it's because Megan always had been taken by my humorous stories and charming demeanor, and thought Adrian and I would make the talk funny. She was picking up traces of some weird accent, and I started to wonder exactly why was he around all the time. Was it more than Glenna's wonderful cooking and my humorous stories? And why did he fit into our family so well? He is handsome. And just in case they're watching online, I'm assuming the girls will be in bed, but Esther could show this to them. Having them not able to be with us tonight was a tiny price to pay for meeting such a wonderful child, as his ego has been brought into our So Heather and Adrian wallets how special this union is, and they found this beautiful place. Who will spend the rest of their lives trying to convince themselves that it was first prize. My boys have both found wonderful wives to share their lives with and raise. Hi, Esther. Hey, Jen. Our family has been so blessed as it grows. For the parents of the groom, Lori, as many of you know, has been fighting a battle of her own the last year, and winning, I might add.
Better half, did you hear that? That makes you so happy, laughs at your silly jokes, and best of all, supports you without doubt. Heather, I had the great honor of meeting you last year in a brief time. Your elegance, love, and kindness shone through. Adrian is very lucky to have found happy lives. It amazes me how two people with such big personalities found each other. In a china shop who punches, wrestles, and headbutt the other night. Lastly, I would like to say a little bit about Adrian. Just to give you a glimpse into Adrian, she's got her own business. She's physically out there and
good evening, everybody. Everything has been said that can be said and should be said, except one thing. You guys are amazing. I mean, this is Canadian people here. Fine, so I recommend this. But despite that, there are a couple of things that puzzle me to this day. I'll tell you 3 stories. In fact, I have here one. No, wait. This is a prize Adrian won. This is a prize. It's been chatted away. There across the valley of a neighboring farmer had to find